How should I tell my parents that I am seeing a 44-year-old man? I'm 18, and I've been dating a 44-year-old man for the past 2 months. He was my first kiss and took my virginity. I've been telling my parents I'm hanging out with my friends when I'm actually seeing him. They have some suspicions that I have a boyfriend, but probably not that I'm in a sizable age gap relationship. I'm not expecting a lot out of this relationship. I just like older men, and it's more of a FWB situation than a serious long-term relationship. For more context, I currently live with my parents, and I'll be headed to an Ivy League, Yale, in the fall. I've always been a good student and well-rounded daughter. This is to say my parents trust most of my judgment and decisions. I'm running out of excuses to use to see him, especially for overnight stays and vacations. I want to come clean about him, but I fear some backlash, even though my parents are a decade older than him. Should I just tell them I have a boyfriend but lie about his age? Or just keep my head down until I move out? Or just tell them the complete truth? I'm scared of them not letting me see him anymore. I got slightly attached and I really enjoy how he makes me feel. My parents and I already have a difficult relationship, so I keep a lot of secrets. Final update. As I'm maturing and gaining more life experience, I'm looking back on my past decisions with a sort of sympathy and wistfulness. I didn't know anything, and I still don't, but I was at a really vulnerable phase in my life, and spending time with men who cared much more about satisfying their self-interests than protecting my well-being. I can recognize this now after immersing myself with peers who genuinely care for me and look out for my best interests. People who don't just say they want the best for me, but actively push me toward living my healthiest, best life. In truth, when I first posted about my much older boyfriend, I didn't fully understand the intentions and meanings behind the comments I received. I was defensive and convinced that I had power in the situation and would be perceptive enough to move on when it came to an inevitable end. What I failed to realize was that my heart was still young and hopeful, and that I would make excuses to justify an older partner's hurtful actions toward me. Issues can occur in any relationship, but in a 20-plus year age gap dynamic, it's too easy to place the blame on yourself as you assume the older party knows better and will act better. It was me who said the wrong thing, who didn't show the right care, me who wasn't good enough to not be discarded after he had his fun. I was, and still am, young and sweet. I thought I chose to see the best in people and was a better person for that, but in doing so, I neglected my own wants and needs. The men who saw this weaponized my kindness and patience. They saw an easy opportunity to sleep with me and use up my emotional energy for their benefit, and I told myself that it felt good to be useful, and I wanted to provide that for them. And maybe it did in the moment, but it comes crashing down when you realize their true intentions and how little you mean to them when you thought you meant a lot. It is difficult to be a girl, and I am often a lonely and insecure girl still working on healing myself. I didn't want to believe that someone who held me, kissed me, said he wanted everything good for me, could view my innocence and trust as a path to access my body and company. It is twisted, and I don't blame the younger me who fell for such traps. I wanted to be cherished and loved, and I didn't know the right place to look, and didn't have people to direct me to something more sustainable and healthy. The sheer humanity shown toward me during that period of my life keeps me hopeful. I was a lost child, unsure of what to do or what was right. I had little guidance, and I sought that in people I believed I could trust and confide in. I broke up with him a few days ago and have cut him off from my life, forever, permanently.